A congresswoman goes to great pains, proving she's got noodles for brains. As you see a congressional bully get rejected fully. On Wednesday, Rashida Tlaib, also known as the dumb one, although it's a tough competition with the squad, challenged bank CEOs to stop financing fossil fuels. Here she is trying to explain her point.
You have all committed, as you all know, to transition the emissions from lending and investment activities to align with pathways to net zero in 2050. Do you know what the International Energy Agency has said is required to meet our global 2050 net zero targets of limiting global temperature rise to 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius? So no new fossil fuel production starting today. That's like zero.
Oh. That was harder to follow than a dwarf through a corn maze. And yet, I've been there. And yet, go ahead.
That's the kettle calling the pot black. If I ever heard
So you were the corn maze.
I figured you'd be right behind him.
Yes. And yet, she wants execs to answer succinctly after that. Watch how succinct J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon can be.
Please answer with a simple yes or no. Does your bank have a policy against funding new oil and gas products? Mr. Dimon.
Absolutely not, and that would be the road to hell for America.
How's that for a yes or no answer? Then she came unglued faster than a Band-Aid in the ocean.
That's fine. Sir, you know what? Everybody that got relief from student loans has a bank account with your bank should probably take out their account and close their account. The fact that you're not even there to help relieve many of the folks that are in debt, extreme debt because of student loan debt, and you're out there criticizing it.
What? That wasn't even the question. You know, if this were a conversation on a subway, we'd be slowly backing away from her. Finally, Rashida's last and final swing.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you, Mr. Dimon, because you obviously don't care about working class people in frontline communities like ours. So I'm not going to even ask you if you're committing to ending financing of new oil and gas projects.
Wait a minute. You're not going to ask? That was your first question, lady. Well, we're all dumber now than when I started this segment, and I'm sorry for bringing you into this. Kat, what do you make of Rashida's? Do you have any advice for her in terms of when she has to, sound intelligent? Because that clearly was a failure.
Yeah, if you don't know a word, you should look it up.
Yeah.
Like the Celsius really because even if her argument would have made sense in other ways, she would have lost a lot of points for saying degrees Celsius.
Yes.
It just goes to show you don't really think about these things, because if you want to have the technology to move away from fossil fuels, which we don't have yet, you need an environment where innovation is possible. And that environment is capitalism.
Yeah.
This is the only way it's going to be possible.
Tyrus, was Dimon's response reeking of white privilege and racism? Doesn't he realize you shouldn't be speaking that bluntly and that truthfully to members of the squad? They're the oppressed.
Well, if that's white supremacy, sign me up, Briz. I'm in. What it is, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here today, that's my southern white gentleman. What we have here today is woke's in trouble because the big companies aren't scared no more. See, I think that thing with Don Lemon woke a lot of people up, because what the woke do is when they ask a question, you're too scared to answer. And what usually they do is they ask old white people who feel bad and won't challenge them. But Don messed around and asked an old English white woman, and she didn't play that.
Yeah.
So she hit him. So then other white people saw that and were like, So when she asked him, he looked around the room. No, that's stupid. And everyone, the wizard, everyone sees this with the woke now. They see it now.
Yeah.
Her attack was, I'm going to tell people that got their student loans paid for to cancel their bank accounts.
Yeah.
Well, then they won't get their money, dumbass. Like,
Yes. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because she's probably used to being in interview situations where they're like, yes, of course, the cellosis is a huge problem.
her hand was on her heart. Like, I just,
She's never been.
Right.
you're a racist.
Kaylee, any pointers for Tlaib?
Oh, gosh, there are many. Yeah. And for the new press secretary, I'll say. But, hey, other side.
To be fair, that wasn't Kaylee talking. That was the baby.
Yeah, not me.
Before you attack this young lady,
that was
very
all,
aggressive child.
it was all him. But, you know, it's interesting. They love to talk about how bad our candidates are on the right. That's like the mainstream media talking point. You guys have Rashida Tlaib and AOC and these horrible people like Rashida. Okay, she uses the words calming with Holocaust. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember she made that anti-Semitic statement?
Yeah.
Then she says she wants to empty the federal prisons in 10 years. And then my favorite is her advocacy for a nationwide rent moratorium as she's collecting $30,000 to $100,000 in rent.
Mm-hmm.
These people cannot live up to their own hypocrisy. And to your point, Kat, needs some dictionaries. Which, was she reading that off a teleprompter? Because, like, how do you mispronounce a word unless you're not reading it? I don't know.
I've
but
done
lose
that.
the teleprompter.
Never. I've never
Never done that.
Ever.
Greg.
You know, the funny thing is, I think that Rashida knew that Diamond was right.
Diamond.
That's the point. She wants it to fail. She wants it all to go down the tubes.
Let me speak broadly about Rashida Tlaib. She is a vile, disgusting, horrible, anti-American, communist, awful, degenerate, really just... I could go on, but I was thinking, this is the #1 show in late night, and
Right.
if I said what I really believe about her, you'd probably be canceled. So when I was in the green room, I actually wrote down what I think about her on a napkin, and I thought I would just hand it to you. And if you read that aloud...
Can I share it?
If you read that aloud, I will never be on Fox again.
But he doesn't have to worry about it because he's so rich.
Yes. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Put it in your pocket.
I don't think she invested either.
Up next, if Disney's not in your budget, sneaking in kids is one way to fudge it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.